Hey, welcome to my channel. Here's my macros for everything I ate today. Today's Tuesday, and my alarm just went off to put out meat from the freezer if I need it. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a half. So all this will get me through to not this coming weekend, but next weekend. Well, I remember I've got some salsas that I need to use up. So we're going to take one of these days, one meal from these each day, and use up the salsas that I got made. One more. So, and as far as my sides, looks like I have, okay, so those are broths. That's a broth. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 days of sides worth. So I'll probably do some, this weekend I'm going to go old school. And I'm going to pull out some frozen vegetables. And because I haven't done that in a while, so I want to show y'all how I did that. So, we'll do that this weekend. But for now, let me show you what we're going to do with the salsas. If you've watched me for very long, you've seen me do this before. And this is what I'm going to do. These are frozen. And the amount of meat in these is too thick for me to put a salsa in and be able to close the lid. So how do I rectify that? Pow! Pow, pow, pow! And then we bloop. Put it. It may not be enough. Let me see if I can get that lid on. Hold on. Alright, so I got one. Yeah, one. So, again, we pull out a salsa. We're going to beat this one up a little bit better. I'm going to close this one up because it's going down for real. It's going down for real. So I beat it up and we put it right on in here. And now the lid will close. I promise I had a good day at work. I'm not like upset or anything, but this sure is therapeutic. Pow, 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 pow. And I'm really not, it's not really a solid, it's more like a crumble. So it's not like damaging my countertop, it just sounds loud. Famous last words. In a couple days, I'm going to be like, guys, I don't know what happened, but I got this big old gash. I got this big old gash in my countertop. Here. This might be more appropriate. And there we go. Pow, 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 pow. Take that, people. Take that, mean person that I don't know. I didn't run into any mean people today, so it really was a good day. I'm just being silly. Let's see. Fit in there. This one's a little questionable. it's closed enough. But you got to do them individually. Otherwise, if you don't do them individually, then these are already measured out into my chronometer. So since they're already measured out, all I have to do is plug them into chronometer. And I don't have to do anything extra but plug them in. This one may not screw on very well. Hey, it did. Ta-da! I think this one's just sideways. Yeah. Good enough, I think. Well, let me see. Yeah, good enough, Terry. Good enough, Terry. Good enough, Terry Bear. So when I was growing up, a lot of people, I say a lot of people, some people, it was when CBs were really big and popular. So my dad had a CB in his van. And every morning, that was before cell phones. So you got to think this was, I graduated high school in 1990. And I was born in 72, so I think mid-80s. And every day on my drive to work, my dad would get on the CB. And he was a teacher. And I'm going to put these up right quick so that way I know they don't defrost too much. But my dad was a teacher and he taught music, he taught band. Well, there were two other directors. And one of them, she also had a CB in her vehicle, and her husband did too, I think. Well, I went to a little Lutheran school right down the hill from where my dad taught, so he would drive me to school, and I didn't ride the bus all the time. Sometimes I did, but not all the time. I'd ride with him, and every morning, his CB name was Bandman, B-A-N-D man, and her CB name was Sarge. Because she was like a drill sergeant. And so, anyway, so her handle, CB handle was Sarge. Well, mine was Terror Bear. And so I'd talk on it and enjoy it as a kid. Well, fast forward to when I was 16. Yeah, 16-ish. 16, 17. And I talked my dad into putting a CB in my car. Well, it was a good thing because my first car, I had two older sisters. My first car went through both my older sisters and a cousin before that. So by the time I got it, my first car was older than I was. So my first car was over 16 when I got it. So I talked Dad into putting a CB in my car because, roads, bad things, old car. I needed a CB in my life, so he did. So one of my friends and I on the weekends, she and I would get in my car and we'd get out on the interstate and we would drive about 7 miles from one exit to the next, maybe 10. So we get on the interstate and we drive up to the next exit and we talk on the CB for that whole time. We'd be on there just talking to whoever would talk to us, and now we also cruise Broadway. I think most towns have a street that their kids cruise up and down. So we do that too. But we thought it was really fun to cruise the interstate and talk on the CB to the truck drivers. I tell you, we thought we were something, let me tell you. We would just get up there or we'd get out on the interstate and breaker 19, this here's Terror Bear, how you doing? And And so, yeah, I don't remember what I think hers was baby doll. I don't know. She's more girly than me. But anyway, so sure enough, that's what we used to do. We would cruise Broadway, cruise the street, up and down the street, or we drive up and down the interstate and talk on the CB. Sometimes we cruise Broadway and talk on the CB. And then we found out there were people who had CBs in their home. And they had a really strong signal. So sometimes we'd be talking to them while we were cruising Broadway. And this was people who lived in our town. We talked to them while we were cruising Broadway. And we talked to them while we were cruising the interstate. I don't remember what their names were, but we got to know them. And later on ended up going to their house too. Like, we were college age by that time. But yeah, that was our source of entertainment. We would drive up and down the interstate and talk on the CB. So, yeah, that's a little fun fact for you. So when I say Tear Bear, that was my CB handle. Tear Bear. Okay, bye. See you in the morning. Know what I forgot? To put my food together. But there's nothing to do to it. I'm taking the rutabaga with me. And I'm going to have my coworkers taste it tomorrow. I'm going to take the rutabaga. And I'm taking, did I get the right one? Oh, that's ground beef. Hang on, hold up, Newt. There we go, here we go. Here we go. We got pork steak, rutabaga, and eggs. So for those of you, I don't remember who it was, but one of you had suggested I tried swede. And somebody in the comments said that's rutabaga here. So for those of you who don't have rutabaga but you have swede, that's what that is when I say rutabaga. It's just here in America they have it listed as rutabaga and not swede. So I got my muffin, my egg muffin, and I got my pork steak and my swede, my rutabaga, and my got some silverware in there. So okay. Now I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. I have my coffee going. This is about 2.5 cups of water. About 20 ounces. And it's just plain water. I have all the powders and I have the protein powder and the coffee and the electrolytes already in there. So that way all I have to do is add hot water. And then I'm going to add, this is all I have left of this stuff, so I want to go on and finish it up. I'm going to put a pump in there. I'll put my lid on it. If you want to know exactly what's in my coffee, watch Sunday's video. And I hold it over the sink, shake her up. And there we go. That is my coffee. Good morning. Cheers. Hey there. This is one of my sweaters that I got from the Women's Safe House. So I think it's pretty with all this decoration on it. I got this last week. And then these are pants. They're some kind of leggings. But anyway, so yeah. They say your shirt has to be low enough to cover your hoo-ha if you wear leggings. So I think between the sweater and the shirt, it covers it. Okay, let's get to what we're eating. Okay, so lunch today, I've got my pork steak and got the rutabaga. So I had my coworkers taste it. 2 of them said it's good. 2 of them, one said she doesn't like turmeric and the other one doesn't like curry. So I told them next time I do it, I'll do just a few pieces that have no seasoning on it so they can taste it. But yeah, but I like it. I think they're just weird. Okay, bye. Hey, we're going to do something a little different tonight for supper. kind of been a weird day, rough day, mentally a rough day, and so here is how I'm going to cope with my day. I'm going to heat this up and I'm going to put some tallow in it, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So while this is heating up, I'm going to go on and toss in some things. This is 185 grams of cabbage, and that takes up a lot of space. So, but I'm also going to use, we're going to use a little bit of onions. These are some frozen onions. I buy the diced onions in the Walmart produce aisle, and then I set them out on a tray to in my freezer, and I freeze them. And then after they're frozen, I put them in a Ziploc bag so I can pull them out when I want to. Then I'm also going to add some mushrooms. I also usually add some onions or peppers, but I didn't have any open, so I'm like, I'll just use what I have open. That's a big old hunk. So now I'm going to put that in here, and I'm going to cover it and let that kind of stew down. In the meantime, I have my ground beef that I have out that I usually heat up and whatnot. I'm going to microwave that for a couple of minutes just to kind of break it apart, break up the fat a little bit, so then that way when this is done, I'll put it in, but I'll show you when I get there. I'm going to go ahead and add, this is 28 grams of bacon pieces. And I need a fork, if I can find a fork. I must see if I can break up the mushrooms a little bit. It was like in a big clumps. Let's see. Oh my. Nope, still too frozen. This one's coming open apart though. It's going to be a while, I'm thinking. How'd you flip over your food, Terry? How'd you flip everything out onto the floor and burn yourself? Well, I was trying to be in a hurry. I was trying to be a wise guy. Now, seasoning. Let me think. Let me go to my little treasures over here, and I'll come back with some seasonings. All right, I got it. Hang on. Go big or go home, I always say. Well, we're going big. So, we're going to put in little bit of umami. Not a lot, just a little bit. We're going to put in some ground cumin. Going to put in a little bit of white pepper. Going to do a little bit of freeze-dried garlic. Some people make this and do like an Asian blend with it, and that's really good. I'm going to do some chili powder. So the flavor I'm going for, when I was young, my grandma would make cabbage soup. Now she used chili beans and stuff in it, so I'm kind of going for a cabbage. That was smoked paprika and chili powder. This is garam masala. So grandma, used different things, but I'm going for this. So some curry powder. I can't believe my coworker doesn't like curry powder. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. Hope she ain't watching, but you're weird. This is ground turmeric. My other coworker doesn't like turmeric. What the heck is wrong with people? I'm telling you what. People they got problems. They got problems. And that's all I'm going to say about it, in case they're watching. I love y'all, but you're weirdos. So, I'll stir that in a little bit there. And now I'm going to grab the ground beef. Oh, well, it's going to have a kind of a chili flavor. Look, this one has some salsa in it. All right, then. I won't complain about that. So you're going to see in my chronometer, I did not eat breakfast. It just didn't fit in. I was not hungry this morning at work, and then I had stuff going on. So I really did not get hungry till about 11:30ish or whatever it was whenever I showed you my lunch. I really was not hungry until then. So heaven forbid I don't do extra calories for supper. So that's why I added in the extra bacon bits. Let me see, let me see. Oh, I know it's going to be missing. Salt. Why do I always forget salt? Sometimes I go in my living room and I keep a little teeny tiny, about that big, little thing of salt by my chair where I always eat and play my video games or crochet. And I keep a little thing of salt in there. And I'm like, dadgum, I forgot the salt again. Whoop. Now, let's see if that's better. And I don't have to have my cabbage like all super soft or anything. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. I like that. I'm going to cover it up for about 5 more minutes, though. Hey. Look what I'm going to add. Oh, you know what I should add? Hold on. The guilt is strong. Okay. I can't just add sesame seeds now. I just got to use up these everything bagel ones. The guilt is strong. So, there we go. There's some everything bagel seasoning. Yeah. Knowing I've got 5 of them over there, I'm like, girl, you better use those up. You got issues. Okay, now I'm going to cover it for 5 minutes. Okay, it was 3 minutes. I just couldn't keep waiting. I'm hungry. Turn this off. I'm going to put it in here. Because I don't have a bowl big enough to hold this amount of food all in one. Now, this will be just fine. I do realize that I don't eat on plates or, regular bowls like a normal person. And I'm good with it. I am perfectly okay. I am fine with that. Being normal is overrated, I'm here to tell y'all. Trust me. If you're normal, you're boring. I'm just kidding. Alright. I'm going to get you up here. That's what I'm having. There's my supper. Nummy. Alright. I'll make sure I have the macros either before or at the end. Bye.